Good morning, fellow traders. Bubble here. It's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Wednesday, November the 11th, 2020. Hope everybody had a great night last night, and happy Veterans Day, and thanks to all veterans for your service for our country. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, let's check see where we left off the market yesterday. So SPX, again, a bit of an upper shadow here in the monthly chart, but we're still at the upper Bollinger Band, again, back to it after a bit of a drop move. But the SPX, right, weekly chart kind of turned into this red spinning top from the shooting star candle as we faded, we filled this gap here and then kind of recovered from it. So futures, you'll take a look at a little bit. Futures are up here this morning, but again, we're kind of in the context of what we think is a larger wave 2 move since we broke out of the triangle here and we left this big upper shadow. So it shows that the correction wants to happen. So now we just kind of have to see if this is going to be like sort of like an A, B, C type move to maybe the 382, or maybe we'll grind a little bit lower to the 382, we'll grind our way up, and then we'll have a larger move down here maybe to the 618 and tag the upper trend line before this market's ready to go again. Let's take a look at the SPY. So SPY here again decreased volume yesterday, and here on the intraday it looks like it's a little bit of a rising wedge here this morning. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. Again, S&P futures formed a few fresh signal zones last night, kind of this drop-based rally area, and we're kind of rising wedge here into today. Again, yesterday we saw a big choppy, lots of chop yesterday after a big move on Monday. So we'll see. The Fed's going to be closed today, right? So they're not going to be buying and all that stuff and everything today. So and banks are closed. So we'll see if the market gives us some more chop today, or if the bulls just kind of step up. We got some clear air here, right? We had the big launch right here, we had the big drop right here, where we tested the scene of the breakdown. So we may come back and test this signal zone here, and then signal zone here today, and then we want to see how that holds. Let's take a look at the MES. Okay, so MES, again, same thing, right? We just want to get the geometric lines on here and track those going into today. Right? There's a couple of different areas that we could look at. It looks like we're having a minor pivot right here. So one of the things we could do is just kind of see how that holds going into the rest of the day. Let's see with the Qs. See the behaving here this morning. So Q's looking interesting, kind of channeling up this morning. Just be careful in case this turns into a bear flag going into today. The IWM, again, big exuberance off of the Pfizer vaccine news, right? It's good for the small caps, right? Good for business, not good for the stay-at-home names. But we're kind of choppy here this morning on the IWM. The XLF, again, like we said, banks closed today. It's kind of looking maybe bull flagish right here, but it's had a big run since yesterday, and it's looking really kind of choppy here. So just be careful if this does want to test the bottom of the channel. I'm not saying it's going to be a huge breakdown, but it might be enough to push the market back down for a gap fade today. So that's something to keep an eye on there as well. Let's take a look at Apple here this morning. So Apple gapping up pretty decent here this morning. So let's see if that can hold here and get over yesterday's highs for maybe a little bit of a move to test a couple of these prior days levels. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla actually looking pretty interesting here. The daily chart, of course, we've got this big triangle move. The real question is it over, right? So if this is the case, right, we may see a rally right here. We might get some higher highs, higher lows, and we might be gearing up for a larger impulsive move to get out of the triangle. So this is definitely one to keep an eye on right here. And this is one that Paul Algo 382 included our morning report to members to show some levels where this might be buyable to get us out of the triangle, which is pretty cool. A couple names on the radar today too, just based off of earnings, is RKT. Okay, so RKT basically just kind of down a little bit within the prior day's range. It had good earnings, so let's see if it can give us a reversal off of that today. D-Dog again had good earnings too, is also down on that. It's trying to give a little bit of a rally here today, but as long as it holds its lows, let's even get some strength and some volume if it wants to give a nice reversal off of that. Lyft had earnings as well and a bunch of upgrades here this morning, but it's not really gapping up that much. Right? If we go to the daily chart, right, we're kind of in this area up here. It already had a big move off of the Prop 22 news in California, but for this thing to really gap and go, I'd want to see it get over 42 for the first levels, right? And then it's got a lot of work to do to get up here, so this is not really kind of breakout city right here. So we'll see how it goes on Lyft. If it can't get over those levels, we might see a reversal back up. One that could do a gap and go here today is Fubo. If it gets over this 22 level, this thing's gapping up pretty significantly here from last night. So again, I want to see it get over 22 for the gap and go on that one. But again, this is a name that's probably a little bit thinly traded, so just a little caution with that one. Oxy had a downgrade here this morning, but it's up, so something to keep an eye on here. But it had rough earnings yesterday, so something to keep an eye on. And then CVS, not CVX. CVS, again, this sector has been really strong. The pharmacy sector, RAD is strong. Walgreens Boots is strong, and CVS is pretty strong right here, and they had an upgrade here this morning too. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Anyway, guys, I hope you found that helpful. We'll see you guys at the lunchtime market update. Until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.